All right, so I'm gonna take a minute to re-explain our finger patterns 1 through 5 for those of you that missed it. This is what you need to play, all 5 finger patterns on every string in order to audition for Forest Grove Chamber Orchestra, which is the top group in Forest Grove. So here we go. I have this lovely, oh here it is, I drew it. All right, so there's 5 finger patterns and I'm gonna review them first using the A string. Okay, and so I have this lovely note here that says finger pattern review on the A string. So if I was you and I was a music student in quarantine, I would have a notebook and I would be keeping track of all of my little lessons. You can do one just for all your classes and put them all in the same place, or you could have a music notebook and a science notebook, and I would be taking as many notes as I can because you're not getting to see your teachers as much. So please write this down. Finger pattern review on the A string. Patterns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you see, I wrote them in this order, and this pattern only works on the A and D strings. On the other strings, it starts getting a little bit different. But 1, 2, 3 go this direction, and then 4, 5 go this way. So the video might flip it over, but this is what I would write in my notes. 1, 2, 3 going to the right, and then 1, 4, 5 going to the left. So that when I look at it, I have the sharps going to the right and the flats going to the left. Okay? Now pattern 1 is our natural pattern, so there's no sharps and no flats. Pattern 2 on the A string adds one sharp. Pattern 3 adds 2 sharps. And then pattern 4 goes the other way. Pattern 4 adds 1 flat, and pattern 5 adds 2 flats, okay? And then once we start stacking the patterns together, then we can make scales with 2 sharps or 3 sharps or 7 flats or crazy stuff, okay? Before we do all that stacking though, let's review patterns 1 through 5 just on the A string, okay? Pattern 1 on the A has no sharps and flats. So the notes you're going to get are A, B, C, D, and E. Here is, I'll play it for you on the A. Here's pattern 1. A, B, C, D, E. So you can stop, practice that, sing it, play it at least 5 times. Pattern 2 then on the A. This is the pattern we started with. So our fingers are together like that. It is pattern 2 though in the cycle, which is what we're doing right now, the full cycle of finger patterns. So here you go. Pattern 2 on the A is A, B, C sharp, D, E. A, B, C sharp, D, E. So there's your pattern 2. Those should be pretty easy since we've done those first. We do pattern 2 first, and then we do pattern 1. And now we're gonna add pattern 3, which is here. Pattern 3 has 2 sharps on the A string. A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E. A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. All right, so there you go. Those are your patterns that use sharps, 1, 2, and 3. Now we're gonna play pattern 1 again, and I like to do that because it brings us back to the natural pattern or no sharps and flats. So here you go. Here is pattern 1 again. And now we're gonna add a flat, and the first flat is B. So we're gonna add a B flat on our first finger. We're gonna go A, B flat, C, D, E, okay? A, B flat, C, D, E. So there's your pattern 4. And then pattern 5 actually ends up looking just like pattern 3, but instead of 2 sharps, we have 2 flats. So everything's lower. It'll sound like this. We get that E flat in there. So here you go. A, B flat, C, D, E flat. Okay? So once you can do all of those patterns on the A string, then you can bring them across all the other strings. And the names of the notes change, but the patterns will stay consistent. And that's why I teach patterns, because they're consistent across all instruments. And the scales are different on different instruments, and it's sometimes harder to explain. But if you understand your 5 finger patterns, that's almost everything you're ever gonna have to use. Sometimes there's weird stuff going on, but patterns 1, 2, and 3 are the most common, and then patterns 4 and 5 happen when you're using flats. And that's almost everything you're ever going to need. You can build scales out of that, and you're going to be fine. So finger patterns are super important. All right, here you go. This is finger pattern 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 4, and 5 on the A string. Here you go. 1 and 2, and pattern 1, go. 2. Now we're going to do pattern 1 again, and then pattern 4 and 5. So now we're doing the flats. 4. 5. 'All right, I hope that helps. That's all of the patterns on the A string. Enjoy.